guys, it's Sandra from Inspired Keys, and in today's video I'd like to talk about what you can do if you're just holding on to one chord but make it sound interesting. So sometimes, I don't know if you've experienced it, I have quite a few times where we're just trying to stay very still and we're just hanging on to one chord, and of course that's typically chord 1, which would be, for example, in the context of C major, chord 1 will be C major chord. And then so you don't want to sound boring holding on to that, but so it sounds like you're on one chord, but there are lots of things you can do on the inside, on the inner lines that make it sound harmonically interesting, but yet you can just pretty much hold on to that same shape. So let's just simplify it to, this is like the main chord shape. Maybe I'll use this one. Yeah, I quite like using this chord shape. So it would be terribly boring if you just go like, right? It's still the same. I think you're getting a little bit bored because I am. Maybe you want to add like one more note on top. It doesn't really help because it's still the same notes, right? It's just a whole bunch of C's and G's. So even if you play more, it's just gonna sound boring. So what is the solution? Okay, I'm gonna show you what you can do to add like a note that has like a suspension but resolves down. So in this case, instead of just the 1, 5, and 1, which by the way are C, G's, and C's, so you can move that down to a F, and then you have to resolve the F down to 3. F is 4, so resolves down to 3. Right? Can you hear how it's more interesting already? So if I were to have to hold this for a very, very long time, I'm gonna make sure I play, like there has to be a pulse going on in your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So already this is interesting. Well, what you can do also is to keep the 5 in there. So instead of just, you can also add the G in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So can you hear how that's interesting? So another thing you can do, instead of a 4-3, that was a 4-3 suspension, you could also do a 7-8, which is where 7 is like a B. So but I don't think that 7 sounds really good on its own, especially if you play this. This is a clash, so that may not sound so good. I might want to put a 4 together with a 7 like this, but that might be a little bit, because that's like an augmented 4th interval, doesn't sound so good. So you want to just play a 4, 5, and 7, and then you can resolve with the 4 going down to the 3, and then the 7 going up to an 8 or C, so like this. So what's going on here is there's a 4 and 7 resolving by step to 3 and 8. So right, like that. Or you could have your 7 resolve down by 2 steps to a 6 and then to a 5. I quite like this as well. Okay, and then you have a 7. So there's a la 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 going on. There's a 7 down by step to 6 and down to 5. But I find this sounds a little bit empty, so I might want to harmonize it by doing. So I have harmonies and thirds going on. So it sounds like you're only on one chord, but there's a lot going on inside that actually is chord 5, chord 4, chord 1, but you don't play that for the bass notes, right? So that's why you're holding on to the C bass and you're having like this. So you can go ahead and make your harmony even thicker by, instead of playing, you can add a D in there so it becomes like a G chord, but I won't play. I find that this sounds better. So So yeah, that's what I'll do to make it sound interesting. So yeah, you can try a combination of all of them. So if you have to go on with this chord forever, it does not sound boring. If I were to just play a little bit more, that was just something I just wanted to sneak in just for a bit of a change. But the cool thing is that you can just keep going on and make these subtle changes on the top or in the middle, but still have the same bass note. Just experimenting. May not work if your congregation doesn't like that kind of sound, or maybe it's just not your style. But this is a pretty safe one to do. So I really hope this helps give you some ideas on what you can do to sustain on one chord but not actually be boring. You could just go on and there's a bit of tension and resolution going on to make the chord progression sound interesting. So if this was helpful for you, do help this video to rank higher on YouTube by liking the video, subscribing to the Inspired Keyboardist YouTube channel, and sharing it on social media. Also, leave a comment to let me know what you thought about today's teaching or any suggestions for future videos. Finally, if you want to fast track your worship keys playing, then the Inspired Keys Academy is for you because there are tons of videos on there that you can watch to learn and grow as a worship keyboardist in your own pace, but you can get step-by-step guides from those videos. Better still, you can ask your worship keys questions on there, and you can upload videos of yourself playing to get critique. And so if you're interested to find out more about the Inspired Keys Academy, be sure to check it out at inspiredkeys.com/join, and I can help you become a better worship keys player. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless and happy playing.